Tonight, I want to talk about sensory self-care. Sensory self-care. Now, last Friday night, when we had Dr. Barry Daly on, he kind of touched on these last Friday night when he talked about self-care relating to mental health. Let me tell you what sensory self-care is. Sensory health self-care helps you nourish your senses. Your senses: sight, smell, touch, and sound. And Dr. Daly talked about these. He actually had us to do an exercise. So sensory self-care helps you to get in tune with yourself better. It means the things or the smells or the items or the sounds that help you to get in tune with self-care better. It means that you relate to these things, and when you either smell these things or when you see these things or when you touch these things, you connect with these things, and it causes you to be able to calm down. Sight. For me, being able to see the beach or being able to see the lake or being able to see a trail with nature or walking on a nature walk, it heightens me in the area of my self-care. Why? Because when I am around those things, it causes me to be calm. Now, everybody doesn't like to see the same thing. Now, as I talk about the things that I like to see, I want you to think about the things that you like to see. We all like to see different things. Tonight, I'm talking about sensory self-care. Sensory self-care also helps with living in the present moment. It helps you to better cope with any past or future worry. This is what sensory does. How does it do that? Do this. Let me tell you how. When you find yourself getting stressed or you find yourself getting overwhelmed, you have to know what it is that you can do quickly that will calm you down. You have to know what that is, because whenever you find yourself getting overwhelmed or stressed, you got to be able to tap into it. Now, I cannot always tap into the beach or the lake. I cannot always tap into a nature trail. I can't do that. So I got to have something else that I can tap into that will calm me down. And I shared with you the other night on one of the lives what does that for me. And it is the essential oils that I keep with me. Talking about sensory self-care. This is simple, but yet it is very powerful. It's very powerful that you can find things that will help to bring you down to a calm state. I mean, you could be having a terrible moment. You could be wanting to go off, but yet when you do that one thing that can calm you down quickly, that one thing that can cause you to get in check. Because the truth of the matter is that there are times throughout our day where we have stressful moments. I don't know about you, but I have stressful moments at work. People get on my nerve at work. And I'm sure the same thing happens to you. You got to be able to use your sight, your smell, or your touch, or your sound for it to pull you into check quickly. Sensory self-care is very imperative. And remember, I told you that self-care may seem like it's selfish because you are doing it for yourself. Self-care is not selfish, yet self-care is healthy. So I want to ask you the question, what is it that you can use, either your sight, your smell, your touch, or what can you hear that will calm you down almost instantly? I would like for you to type it on the screen for me. Something that you see, something that you smell, something that you touch, or something that you hear that instantly changes your mindset. It instantly gets you back in a positive mindset. What is it for you? We're talking about sensory self-care. What is it for you? Is it a sight? Is it something that you see? Is it a smell? Is it something that you smell? Is it a touch? Is it something that you touch? Or is it a sound? Something that you hear? What causes you to get back in a calm state quickly? Name one thing. Name one thing. I will tell you what does it for me instantly, and that's the sound of the water at the beach. But I cannot get there quickly all the time. What is it, that one thing that does it for you? Okay? Gospel music, lavender or mint scents, okay? And you're going to see, we're going to get into some of that tonight. Worship, okay? All right. What else? Anybody else? Does anybody need to touch anything? Like perhaps touch flowers or greenery, or some people need to walk on the grass, or some people need to walk in the sand. What is it for you? Meditation, okay? What is it for you? Is it a sight? Is it a smell? Is it a touch? Or is it a sound? What sensory self-care do you use quickly? Okay? Seeing trees blowing, okay? That's good. So that's a part of nature. So my point here is, each of us, when it relates to sensory self-care, we appreciate something different. Why? Because we are all different. None of us are alike. Not even a mother and their children is alike. All of us are different. Okay? Hearing a hymn, all right? Deep breaths, outdoors, okay? And candles. Wow. Okay. We're going to talk about some of these things tonight. So it is important for you to stay in tune with your sensory self-care. And it's important for you to first identify. You got to be able to identify what your sensory self-care is. And several of you have identified what it is for you. And that is awesome, because you want to be able to tap into that. And right now, some of us are going through some stressful moments. Those of us that are having to go out to work. We're stressed getting ready in the morning. We're stressed when we're riding in our car. We're stressed when we get to work. You got to have something that you can tap into quickly that will calm you down. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to do that. This is why the sensory self-care is so important. Any questions about sensory self-care? Any questions? I really love the ones that you all have shared tonight. And you're going to see as I get to the end, you're going to see that some of you tapped into some of the things that I'm going to talk about tonight a little bit later. Sensory self-care. Very important. Not that the other ones are not, but you got to be able to tap into that quickly. Sensory self-care is so beneficial, and it's what helps with your mindset. It helps with your mental state. It helps with your mental state. Yes, it can. Yes, peace and quiet can be one. Yes, it can. Yes, sometimes you might need to, throughout the day. I did that today. I had to get outside just for a few minutes while I was at work, and I sat on a bench outside, and I sat there for like 15 minutes. I just needed some quiet. I didn't need to hear nobody. I didn't need nobody talking to me, and I didn't need to see anybody. Yes, peace and quiet is one of them. Peace and quiet is very beneficial. So tonight we talk about sensory self-care. So tonight we're going to do as we do every night, and we are going to go to the whiteboard. The whiteboard tonight. Here is where you all participate. Those of you who have been joining, you already know how we do it nightly. Okay? So our acronym for tonight is GOALS. GOALS. GOALS is our acronym tonight. GOALS. All right? So the G stands for give up. What will you give up to make sure that the things that need to happen with your self-care happens? What will you give up? I always give mine first, and mine is my shopping habits. What will you give up? The G stands for give up. What will you give up? Bad habits, all right? What will you give up? The acronym is GOALS. What will you give up? All right? What will you give up? Oh, amen. Okay. What will you give up? All right. Negative people. Got it. All right? What will you give up? Okay? All right? Okay. So we got a nice little list there of things that we're going to give up. Now, you are not just telling me these things to write on the board, but what you are doing is you are putting your action plan in place. So you should be writing these things down because this is going to help you to put your action plan in place. All right, got it. All right. And so the next letter is O. And the O stands for overflow. What is it that you would like to overflow in your life? What would you like to overflow? For me, it's money and clients. This is where the Bible says to speak those things that are not as though they were. You got to speak these things as you are setting your action plan in place. What is it that you would like to overflow? All right? What is it that you would like to overflow? All right? Well, that's money. So that's money times 3. And then healthy relationships. All right, that's money times 4. Money times 5, money times 6, money times 7. Money times 7. Wisdom, clients, peace, and money times 8. And knowledge. All right. So you got to speak those things that are not as though they were. You got to put an action plan in place. So you should be writing these things down because why? They're your words. All right? Okay. The next letter is A. And the A stands for alleviate. Alleviate. What will you alleviate from your life to keep you from getting to a healthy state and from getting to your self-care the way that you want to. What will you alleviate? I will alleviate perfection. What will you alleviate? All right? Okay? What will you alleviate? What will you alleviate to make sure? All right. All right. What will you alleviate? Oh, that's two of y'all. Wow. Overthinking times 2. What will you alleviate? All right. Toxic relationships. That's good. All right. Being too sensitive. Okay. So write down the word that you gave, or write down what you gave, and you're going to begin to put your action plan in place as it relates to those things. The next word is luxury. Luxury is for L. What luxury would you love to have in your life as it relates to self-care? What luxury would you like to have in your life as it relates to luxury? I would like to have a massage every week. What luxury would you like to have in your life? Speak those things that are not. That's a good one, Latanya. Yes, Lord. Speak those things that are not as though they were. What luxury? What luxury? Housekeeper times 2. Amen. What luxury? What luxury? Yes, ma'am. Now, you all said pedicures, right? But here's what you got to do. If you're going to put an action plan in place, you cannot just say pedicures. You got to say how often you want a pedicure. Remember, you're putting an action plan in place. So don't just say pedicures. You got to be specific. Yes, traveling without bound. Yes, ma'am. What luxury? What luxury? Yes, ma'am. Woo, every week. Speak it, girl. That's it. You could do it. What luxury? What luxury would you like to have? Traveling when you want. Yes, ma'am. Traveling times 2. Housekeeper times 2. Traveling times 2. Pedicures times 2. All right? So GOAL, GOAL is our acronym. And the last one is S. And the S stands for SHINE. Vacation with family, all right? SHINE. How would you like to shine? Ooh, that's a good one, Chef. Every day. Yes, Lord. Shine. How would you like to shine? Mine is by being authentic. That's how I would like to shine. How would you like to shine? How would you like to shine? Remember, you are speaking those things that are not as though they were. How would you like to shine? All right. Helping those in need. Okay. How would you like to shine? All right. How would you like to shine? Remember, you are speaking those things that are not as though they were. Oh, I didn't see that part. Without fear. All right. All right. Anybody else? How would you like to shine? So tonight our acronym is GOALS. The G is for give. The O is for overflow. The A is for alleviate. The L is for luxury. The S is for shine. The things that you wrote down tonight. All right. All right. All right. So, the things that you gave tonight, you should write these things down either in a journal or in a notebook. We're on night number 9. I hope that you have some things written down already. And because that's the only way you're going to do them. What's written is what manifests. If you don't write it down, it's not going to manifest. Coming here and sharing it or typing it in there while we're on here, no, you got to write it down. What is written is what will manifest. So tonight, our acronym is GOALS. GOALS is our acronym tonight. GOALS is our acronym tonight. So before I go into showing items that I use tonight, are there any questions about sensory self-care, or are there any questions about our acronym GOALS? Any questions? That's our acronym for tonight. We talked about sensory self-care, and our acronym for tonight is GOALS. Give up, overflow, alleviate, luxury, and shine. You got to be willing to do the things that you wrote down on your notepad or either on your journal, index card. It doesn't matter what you wrote it on. You want to write it down because you want to put an action plan in place. The action plan is for what? It is for your self-care. You are about to put a plan in place for your self-care. It's not for anybody else. It's for your self-care. It is for the healthy state of your mind, your body, and your spirit. So tonight, sensory self-care and our acronym GOALS. So earlier I talked about sensory self-care, and I want to talk about the one smell tonight. Now, a couple of you talked about a candle. You said that you like to burn candles. I love to burn candles. I wish that I could burn them at work, but I cannot. This is sensory self-care. Find you a candle that you enjoy. Again, those of you who have been here, you know that I love lemongrass. That's my lemongrass essential oil. And that's what this is. This is a lemongrass and orange soy candle. When I smell this, it calms me down. This. Candles. Find a candle that does that for you. Don't just buy no candle. No. Buy it because it does something for you. Everybody is not going to like the same thing. Some people like fruity and sweet. I really don't like the sweet smell when it comes to candles, because it has a tendency, after it burns for a little while, it kind of gives me a headache. So I like freshness, and that's why I like the lemon. The lemon, it takes away that sweet smell. So candles is a sensory self-care item. There were a couple of you that mentioned candles earlier. All right. The next one that I want to talk about is sea salts. These are good to use when you are taking a bubble bath. Sea salts. Now, these are not just plain sea salts. These sea salts are lavender scented. So when I use them when I take a bubble bath, it relaxes me. Again, we are talking about sensory self-care. Find something that you can connect with. All right? Lavender sea salt. The other thing is, many of us like Bath and Body Works or Victoria's Secrets. Now, I don't use it a whole lot, because I'm more of a natural person, but there are some that I like. And this one is the Shea and Vanilla. This one is from, is this Bath and Body Works or Victoria's Secret? Who is this? Let me tell the truth. I think this is Victoria's Secret. That just goes to show you. So I don't use this often, but I do like it. Remember, we're talking about sensory self-care. You got to find what works for you. Now, the next one is something that you can carry to work with you. This is lotion. Now, this is what I use a lot of times. Lotion when I'll keep lotion in my purse or lotion on my desk. Now, this is this Bath and Body Works. I said Victoria's Secret. This you right, Bath and Body Works. That's what it is. And this is the Endless Weekend. And I keep this on my desk. Why? When I lotion my hands with this, it calms me. Why? Because I like the way that it smells. Now, you may not like this smell, but it works for me. That's what I'm saying. Everybody doesn't like the same thing, but this works for me. So you got to find what works for you. All right? Now, after I get out of the bubble bath or the shower or whatever, I like some smell good. And again, I think this is Victoria. I think this Victoria right here. This Victoria. I love this. It's refreshing and it calms me. Now let me say this. I do this for me. Although my husband might like it, I do it for me. When I spray it on me, it makes me feel good. That's what you got to do. You're talking about your self-care. Your self-care. Right? This is a body mist. That's what this is. Talking about sensory self-care. And then this, my friend here. This is Body Shimmer. And this is Victoria's Secret. And this is called Pure Seduction Shimmer. Right? I like the way it feels. I like that it gives my body a shimmer because it has the shimmer in it. You got to find what it is that takes care of your sensory self-care. Only you are going to know what that is. So tonight, we talked about sensory